Good morning, church. Today is day 5 in our week of prayer and fasting, and we hope these times have been beneficial for you. We hope these videos have been a good primer for you as you sit with some specific topics and engage with God in prayer. On September 16th, 1940, Sam Rayburn became the 43rd Speaker of the House of Representatives. He would serve in this role 3 separate times over a 17-year period. And there's a story of Sam Rayburn that goes like this. One day he receives word that the daughter of a reporter friend of his has passed away. And it's too late in the day for him to connect with his friend. And so early the next morning, he shows up at his friend's house and knocks on the door. The friend answers the door and is a bit surprised to see Sam. And Sam asks him how he is doing, expresses his condolences, and then says, "Is there anything that I can do?" And his friend, still a bit shocked to see Sam, sort of stumbles over his words and says, "Well, the family has all gathered together. We've got some plans in order. I think we've got everything covered." And Sam asks, "Well, have you had your morning coffee?" To which his friend replies, "No." And so Sam enters the home, grabs the coffee grounds, grabs the coffee pot, and begins to make his friend coffee. And his friend looks at him quizzically and says, "I thought you were supposed to have breakfast with the president this morning." And Sam stops what he's doing and he turns to his friend and says, "I was. But I called and I told him that I have a friend who's going through a tough time, an emergency in his life, and I'm going to have to reschedule my breakfast." The world, when we think about this idea of humility, can tell us that expressing humility, being humble, can be a sign of weakness, that we don't recognize the power of our self-worth. But Jesus paints a completely different picture of humility. Paul is talking to the church in Philippi, and he is encouraging them to have the same mind as Christ. And then he says, "Jesus Christ, who being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage, but rather made himself nothing, humbled himself by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness." When we think of character traits of powerful leaders, we think of things like being decisive, or being a visionary, or empowering people around you. But I don't know that the idea of humility rises to the surface. But there's something so extremely powerful in expressing humility, right? Of recognizing the worth of the people that are around us, of seeing the image of God in them. There's something powerful in being able to say, "You know what, I'm sorry." Or something, it's powerful to say something like, "I didn't handle that situation as best as I could. Can we try that again?" Today is the 5th day in our week of prayer and fasting. And as you make time to pray today, would you ask God to show you places in your life where you can express humility, where you can see the worth in your brothers and sisters, where you can see the image of Christ in your brothers and sisters, and to recognize that God is on the throne and that we are not. And so would we hold tightly to the truth that it is by grace through faith that you have been saved. And this is not from yourself, it is a gift of God, that not by works are you saved, so that no one can boast. Would you have a great rest of your day today? Would God be with you in these times of prayer? And would they be a blessing to you as you go about your day?